all of you are doing well. So TMF, alhamdulillah, we're here. Ramadan is the time of the year. It just happens to be where we're the most active in the month of Ramadan somehow. But alhamdulillah, we're here today. We're trying something new. So we're going live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you guys wanted to interact, any questions that you want to ask, just send them through to us and we'll try to go through as much of them as we can. So today we thought that we'd try to do something different. So we've got a very special guest, I would say, with us today. We have brother Jamil Rashid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nice to have you on the show today.
My pleasure. Jazakallah.
Basically, brother Jamil has been a very important part in our lives as an older brother, as a mentor, as an ustad. You know, all of us have a lot of respect for him. So just to give a bit of background on brother Jamil, brother Jamil was part of MRDF, and they.
You know what? Why don't we let brother Jamil tell us about?
Actually, who else is that?
Right.
Yeah.
So MRDF is an organisation, a charity which was started in 2008. We're a company that was started actually in 2004 as a company limited by guarantee. Became a charity in 2008. And the main purpose is really to do two things. We only do two things. Our vision is to see a world living upon divine values. We either build individuals, whether they're young children, young adults, sisters, families, or we provide guidance on how to live Islam in the West. That's what we do. We don't do anything else besides that. So we try to build individuals like yourselves, the capacity that you're doing it, families to do the best they can, and at the same time, I know it's a very tricky thing to do, which is provide guidance on how to live as Muslims in the 21st century.
I guess that's it's very interesting that you said that, because that's one of the main things at the moment. All of us Muslims living in the 21st century in the West, there's a lot of challenges that we face.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things, a lot of complications, and you know, you find a lot of people starting to have doubts about themselves, as doubts about their religion. So, you know, just speaking a little bit more of that, you know, what kind of, you know, we have a lot of, you know, youngsters that watch our shows and stuff like that. What kind of advice do you have for them to, you know, hold on to their religion?
The most important thing I'd say is that there's not one answer. And I've got older children, okay? So I know with children going through the ages and the youth that are watching and young adults, that things are not the same at the time of our parents or they see as their parents.
Yeah.
Firstly, you know, the situation has changed, society has changed. So I think, firstly, we need to, from a parent's point of view, first, before we get to the kids, we have to recognize that things are not the same. The difficulties of being a youth, a young adult, whether it's a girl or boy in this society, it's mad, if I can use that phrase.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
For a sister, she's trying to wear hijab, for example.
Yeah.
She's got problems of wearing a jilbab, but all the other women are wearing skinny jeans.
Yeah.
She wants to wear skinny jeans.
True. Yeah.
She's blings all over the place, so she wants to look nice. She's bronzing herself up like everybody else is bronzing themselves up, right?
Yeah.
The world is the same. The fitna, or I would say the trials and tribulations for non-Muslim society hits Muslim girls. They are obsessed with those women who are telling you how to dress up on the YouTube, as well as the next person. So, and the brothers on the street or whatever, they're affected by social media and society or public, how do you say, what's going on in the public, right? They're affected the same way. So before we start looking at our youth, we should always recognize a message should go out to the parents always first, or the elders. I'm not sure if they're listening or not. And is that you've got to understand your children. You've got to understand where we're at today. You can't expect people to be the same as we were. Believe me, when I grew up, okay, until my late teens, there's no such thing as Google. Never heard of it. Nowadays, a child at the age of 7, 8 is Googling. It's part of your nature. You don't have a pen, you have a tablet.
Yeah.
If you don't understand those differences, you're never going to recognize that it's hard for youth. It's hard for, I see any brother and sister in the street and they're having problems. I feel sorry for them. We never had this kind of fitna. We had our own trials.
That's true.
Now you go to the wrong postcode, you're going to get stabbed up. I saw a text today of 8 people who got either murdered or attempted murder in Birmingham in a week. All of them Muslims. Mosley, in Bosley Green, or whatever they call it, in Small Heath.
Wow, postcode wars, basically.
Postcode wars.
I think you see quite a lot of them on social media.
Now,
in the Midlands as well.
Do we have postcode? Do we have people? People are going to beat you up. Are people going to stab you?
Yeah.
You can be a 6-foot guy and somebody comes and jokes you.
Someone's taking your life. They're coming to
People-
take your life. Yeah.
They're taking your life.
Yeah.
People, I speak to some youth sometimes, when we do some of our events, they say, we don't go in certain areas. You don't understand. We can't walk down
Yeah.
certain streets. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. I drive everywhere.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
I'm
You're right.
not the youth. I'm not
Yeah.
the guy. You guys will understand it.
Yeah.
You can't actually walk in certain areas.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So looking at all of that, my advice is firstly to the parents to understand what's going on to the kids.
It's true.
And I think that's the best way to start.
It's true.
Because one thing I've noticed is that kids have enough on their plates without the parents not even understanding what they're on.
SubhanAllah, it's true. They don't have an idea what's
haven't got
going
a
on.
clue.
They have
They haven't
no
got a
idea
clue.
what's going on in their life. And it's like it's interesting what you mentioned as well, because I know a few people that they're scared for their life. So hence why they are carrying a weapon with them, because they know that someone's out to take their life. And if someone's going to come take their life, they're going to take theirs before they take. It's actually that deep at the moment. I know a few people that are actually in that situation where they're scared constantly that someone's going to come and take their life. Hence why they're carrying a weapon or whatever it may be.
That's mad.
If you've got a weapon on you, you're going to end up using it.
Yeah, you don't care unless you
Yes,
use it. Yeah.
And more time, like you get caught with that, and like, I think the statutory punishment
5 years.
5 years.
5
for a
years
knife.
for a knife.
Yeah, it's crazy. And how many people do we know that kind of went down that track? How many people have we gone and visited in prison and stuff like that? And I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
there's ever
true.
been a time where we've met someone and they've said, "I'm happy with what I've done."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite crazy, because they all regret it in the end. They all literally regret it. It's literally not worth it. But how do we? That's the thing. How do we get to these brothers like us? Alhamdulillah, young brothers. A lot of the people that we speak to, similar to our age, if not a lot younger. But how do we reach out to them? How do we make them understand
Okay.
to get out of this?
So the question, they ask you guys some questions, right?
Yeah,
So you guys are practicing the deen. You're trying to practice then. And
Somewhat.
the straight now, you're trying it.
yeah.
I mean, you haven't figured out the dress sense yet. But you're getting there, alhamdulillah. It's going to take a bit of time, akhi. It's gonna take a bit of time.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
My
Shots fired.
hat's got Arabic.
It's
right
Arabic
I'm
right on
just
it.
saying.
That's you know, sometimes when you go to a mosque, right, you see the henchest brother, and he's got an Arabic hub. You've got love on your thing. Do you know what you're wearing? But anyway,
Have you tried taking that sort of clothes to an Arab country and you walk down the souk?
people are like, yeah, what are you doing?
And they're looking
What
at
are
you
you
like,
doing?
what
What
are
are
you
you
doing?
And by the way, Arabs have said to me, do you know what that guy's wearing? He's wearing, like the brother the other day had a hat on and he had Saad on it. Just a Saad. Imagine. The Arab brother said, brother, he's in the harf. He's got hair on his head. I said, listen, Sheikhna, you can't understand. Don't worry with it.
You don't know the truth, yeah.
But-
Subhanallah.
I got
But that's fashion now, though.
That's fashion.
Yeah.
You've got
Yeah.
to accept it.
It's a lot of non-Muslims wear that as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you see
Yeah.
footballers who've got Arabic letters.
Yeah,
behind,
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
part of side.
Okay.
Okay.
Trend, yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question, right?
Yeah.
So you guys came for that lifestyle, or you've been through it, you know people through it.
Yeah.
Being there now, everybody asks you the same question. What advice would you give? And you're going to say, well, I'll tell, you're going to give your advice.
Yeah.
My question is not that. My question is, the reality is that if you passed away in that life, how much would you regret? That's the question I ask you.
Subhanallah. That's deep.
I mean,
Wow.
Yeah, so how much would you regret it? Knowing where you were and where you are now.
it's at that time I would not have known what it's like living like this.
That's right.
So maybe I wouldn't know.
But
at
now,
that time.
I'm saying
but
now, yeah.
now I'd regret it immensely. Imagine like this is before a time I performed like a single salah. Like when was I remembering Allah then? Like was I just going to mosque on like Fridays and the odd Friday and on Eid days?
Yeah.
Most some Eid days I'd probably even be working or doing whatever
But
I
you
was
have a
doing.
jubba on, innit?
Yeah, obviously. Got to
You gotta wear the
represent,
jubba,
innit?
bro.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
if I think
Awesome
for deeper
jubba.
now, it's like if I died then,
It'd be crazy. It's deep, actually. When you think about it now, I wasn't actually even expecting that question, but when you think about it now, that's actually quite deep. Imagine dying in that kind of state. You barely pray. You don't know how to read the Quran. Like me, I remember I used to look at the Quran literally as a personal experience. I used to look at the Quran and I used to think to myself, am I ever going to be able to read this?
yeah, I remember that.
I remember that time I used to.
We're all there. We're all
Yeah.
there.
And then when you flip it, fast forward it, and then you're standing in salah, and the imam's reciting some next verse that you don't even know, but you pick up words and you're like, oh, I know what this means. And then you it starts from where you start, slightly understand the context of this too.
Yeah.
Wow, I know the whole way of exactly what he means by this word and everything, and it's like, and you just think, subhanAllah, like a few years ago,
Yeah.
I was looking at this funny, you know, squiggles, thinking, what is this?
Yeah, subhanAllah.
One thing is, you know what? At that time, you don't think about the future.
It's true.
So for us to, like, if we were to think, oh, if I was to die then, at that time, I'm saying in that time frame, if we was to die then, we wouldn't have ever thought about what
I think
happens
that's
now.
all of us. That's all of us. But
It's
you
only now because I personally think if we were still in that lifestyle, we wouldn't think about it.
Yeah, yeah,
we
you
still wouldn't think about it. It's only because we've changed our lifestyle that we think, raw. If I did,
But also, it's
then
you gotta
that'll be
know,
so
like,
much different.
Yeah. That's the question really, is that how much you must thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Exactly. Yeah.
When we say all the time that we're blessed to be Muslims and all the rest of it, but wallahi, all I can say is that what a blessing it is to be guided. Why did Allah choose us? That's the
Yeah.
question to ask.
Yeah.
And
subhanallah.
these questions are the questions that our brothers and sisters who are watching should be asking themselves. That's the question. Why is it Allah blessed you even to watch a program like this? Why does Allah bless you even to make tarawih, even if you don't make salah in your time? Why? It's the mercy of Allah on us. Allah always loves to guide people, and He loves people. Okay, generally this is the way of Allah. Allah gives chances to everybody. That's why Allah says Arhamar Rahimin. Not just the one who's just the merciful or the most merciful. It's a non-stop mercy. Yeah. So if you just think about it for a second, and our brothers and sisters will probably think about it, is why today, what we're watching today, is there a guarantee that you're going to be here tomorrow or tonight or the next morning? It's all that blessings that you have to ask Allah. And people just don't get it. And I understand people who think, say, well, I don't get it, yeah? They don't count the blessings. But yesterday, 2 days ago, I went to Salah in this mosque, Islam Mosque. And I went to Salah for Dhuhr. My eyes started scratching. I started thinking, what's going on? Went to office, and it's scratching a bit now. It's a bit, if you see, it's a bit droopy. Went to the office, it started watering. Next day, I went to doctor, said, go to hospital. Went to Moorfields, they checked, they found a piece of metal in there. So then I said, how'd that piece of metal get in? Well, he must have, I did sajda, got or something. The metal came out, but they found rust in there. Imagine for 2-3 days, I couldn't see properly. I was watering, I couldn't pray salah properly. And I thought, one little piece of thing that I couldn't even see affects.
So much.
The ni'mah that Allah gives us in our everyday life is unbelievable. When somebody passes away in your house, you look up in the sky and say, Allah, why me or why us? You recognize the ni'mah of having blessed people around you. So it's all about blessings. I believe that, any message I could give to people is just thank Allah for the blessings. The blessings of just having the ability for someone to speak to you about Islam. Remember when we weren't practicing it, yeah? One thing I never can answer, by the way, to this day, but I know the answer. But I can't answer it to myself, but I know it's a hard thing. Imagine, people used to, I said, why didn't someone give me dawah when I was 13, 14, 15, 16?
The same thing.
Why? No, because the answer is true. They did give dawah to me.
Yeah. You
weren't listening. You're just oblivious. And you know how many brothers you guys speak to day in, day out. You say, listen, stop dealing that stuff. You're killing people. And bruv, leave that stuff alone. Go back to Allah. Maybe it'll make it better for you. And he's oblivious to it.
It's true.
It's a blessing.
SubhanAllah.
It's a blessing, yeah? May Allah make us of those people who at least accept the blessings, innit?
Ameen.
That come.
Ameen.
Have you got any questions?
Well, there's none here from the chat.
Shaz, you got any questions there?
Let me just see.
I've got a few.
I'm going to post some on the group, so on the channel. Go on, Shaz.
Yeah. So, Brother Jamil, one of the questions saying that you're looking quite fit. Would you have for suhoor and stuff?
Yeah, so let me ask you ages. How old are you guys? Come on, let's.
27.
All 27.
All 27.
27. So, well, I've got a couple of.
I've
got a couple of
32, yeah?
No, I'm.
Brother Jamal's had 27
I've
Ramadans.
had like double that much Ramadan.
No, fasted.
He's
fasted.
No, I mean the thing for Ramadan. I mean, do you guys eat a lot heavy in the morning?
No.
You don't have kisri and all that kind of stuff.
Usually. This year we switched up.
This year we
Oh,
switched
good,
up, yeah.
good. Well, I just want to give you stuff about food, yeah? I'm just going to lay it down to you, yeah?
It's not like there's like 45 minutes left of us not eating.
All right, so I'm going to give it to you food, yeah? I'm just going to give it to you. And this is maybe comes from an Islamic point of view. But I honestly believe, and this is just my advice to anybody about food, all right? So you might think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you certain things to be careful about. So it's called huquq, yeah? You've got rights. So one right is the rights of Allah. So you've got to worship him. The second, the rights of the people. Yeah, you've got to be good to them. The third right is your right of your body. And I honestly believe that on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah's going to ask me, the body that I gave you, what did you do with it? How did you keep it? Did you kill yourself through your body by what you ate? And don't get me wrong, I love German Dom the same as next man, yeah? Don't get me wrong, I eat everything. But I also believe that the majority of times that I've noticed, people who have illnesses, diseases, people who've had problems with their lifestyle, people have a lot of problems with relationships and everything, is a lot of the time is how they're eating their lifestyle. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. The fact is that I see all the time, the people who can do worship the longest are not the biggest man who sits in the chair.
Yeah, that's true.
The one who can stand up the most.
Yeah, even when you go to Tarawih, you see all the uncles at the front row, and they're from the beginning to the 8th, to the 20th.
The people, it's the food. And I'm going to say to them, I know sisters, the married sisters will understand. The married brothers, I hope you understand. Everybody wants, this is what I say, that everybody wants their spouse to look good for them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says you get married for 5 reasons. Okay, one of them is Jamal, beauty. You want your wife to look good for you. Your wife wants her husband to look, she wants to say, she wants her man to look good, yeah? She wants him to look like our brother here, yeah?
Nice. You're gonna have a 6-pack, not a family pack.
Or 1-pack, yeah? Or 1-pack Shakur.
Just let all the sisters know they all can't get me.
They all can't. No, we got 4. You got a couple of slots. You got 4 slots. Inshallah ta'ala. But the thing is that they want their husband looking nice and you want yourself. But I tell you something. Brothers, let go of themselves. True, innit? Brothers, let go of themselves. And my advice is that always.
It's true.
That if you follow the Prophet ﷺ's guides, if you eat moderately, and we don't eat moderately, don't get me wrong. And by the way, fast food, you'll figure it out. In 20 years' time, because fast food's only a 10-year epidemic, innit? They say the most unhealthiest high street in the UK was voted was Whitechapel High Street. It's voted the most unhealthiest high street in the UK, 2017. So a few more places.
That's where all the Muslims are.
That's where the Muslims are.
But it's got some banging food spots though, isn't it?
That's why the size.
No, they do good healthy food as well. Don't get it wrong. They do
healthy food.
they
But the
do
reality
good
is that
healthy food.
people with low incomes eat where? Tell me something. You go to Kensington's. Do you get these restaurants or do you get chicken and chip? You don't.
Yeah.
But this is a lot. We've got to be clever enough to know that we've got to switch up our lifestyle. If we do it, train, keep fit, encourage the sisters to do it. And I'll be honest with you, the fitter and the better you are, the better for your ibadah. I honestly believe it. Sahaba ate virtually nothing. And actually, they did more ibadah than all of us put together. And they fought in wars, and we don't fight. Our war is just putting on our trainers and getting out getting out of the house every day. They fought. They built the ummah, and yet there's some hadith that they open their fast on a date which they shared. I'm not sure if that's sahih. I've said some narrations of one. There's another one they went on a journey, and they shared dates. One date they passed it between them. The Prophet said that they never had more than certain amount of morsels in a meal. We have 40 plus morsels in each meal we probably have. They had several morsels. They never ate to their full, but we eat to our full. So I'm saying that really you should think about the food that goes in your stomach and think that Allah's going to question you about it. Truly, isn't it? So that's, I mean, myself, believe me, my wife, mashallah, she's a very good cook, so she cooks well. But I just keep it moderate.
It's hard.
I like having fruit. I like having fruit in the morning. Fruit salad. I can't. Fruit salad and a glass of Coke. No.
You can't avoid
Glass of Coke.
I'm joking.
Are you addicted to Coke?
I'm not, but I tell you something. Let's be real, innit? If you're gonna have a doner or anything, there's only one thing to happen. Someone's gonna wash it down, innit?
Look, Jamal, I just want to give you some advice on fizzy drinks.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
That and Dr. Pepper, they're the only two of us. So.
They're really nice.
Yeah.
I've given up.
Yeah, I'm a coffee drinker.
How do you finding it? Because I'm like.
I mean, I don't have sugar in my coffee. I've had it for years, like so.
Plain black, no milk, no sugar.
No, but you're addicted to the caffeine, then, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, how do you?
No, I'm not like you. Then I have lattes. I'm not addicted to caffeine.
Oh, latte, okay.
But you really addicted to it?
I thought I wasn't, but then apparently not. I've been fine now. I haven't had it for the whole. Well, there's no really time to have it now.
That's one of the things that it's probably one of those things that is in your head, isn't it?
No, it fully is.
That you fully think that you're
addiction
addicted
in your head, really.
It maybe is, but I think some addictions on your body as well. That your body has requirements for it. But I mean, coffee, for example, besides dialectic and all this kind of stuff that it is, it in itself, do you have it every single morning when you get up? Do you make it at home or do you buy it from somewhere?
I'll make it at home.
All right. So then that's the cycle you have, isn't it?
I think, yeah, but that's what I'm
It's a
saying.
routine.
But then that's what I'm saying.
It's a routine.
And
Yeah.
as soon as I stop during Ramadan,
Yeah.
my body's not really craving coffee.
Well, my
It's
wife,
amazing.
she starts making these juices. Right, so we bought a
Smoothies.
juice machine, yeah. So she like smoothies or juices, and all she did was put ginger in it. You know, when you put ginger in the smoothie itself, it gives you a kick, but that's you can handle.
You know
Ginger
what
shots.
they've actually come up with, ginger shots.
Yeah,
They're quite expensive. You
They're
know.
expensive,
They
but
sell
you-
them in Tesco. It's just a little bottle like this,
because it's got
just
so much
ginger
good
and
in it.
water, and that's it.
Yeah.
Ginger and water.
Yeah.
Why would you pay money for that when you can make it at home for free?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People do, innit? It's
We
one
got-
of
we
it's
got-
one of
And
our
it's all
things.
prophetic. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about Zanjabil. Yeah? Zanjabil.
Yeah.
So it's, imagine we have so much in our deen that tells us about having dates, having in moderation, because too much you're going to get fat anyway.
Yeah,
If
too
you
much of
indulge-
anything.
Now those dates are the ones that come out now, some of the big ones. Mashallah, they're dangerous.
love
They are dangerous.
Them in milkshakes. Oh my lord.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
smoothies and whatever.
We got brother Labib asking, how can a Muslim intend his whole life to be for Allah?
Yeah, I was just reading that question.
But you,
I mean, these are, you know, when you get these kind of questions, right? These are stereotypical questions. People ask Shaykh,
Yeah.
Sheikh, you know, how do I focus and have
How do I get closer to
close to
Allah?
Allah? But you know, the reality is this, and we have to be real, and let's look at 21st century, that like the Prophet said, Iman goes up and down.
It's true.
The Prophet said to those 3 Sahaba that came to him, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, said,
sorry.
I fast and I break my fast.
Subhanallah.
Imagine that. I fast and I break my fast. I'm not fasting sometimes. I pray sometimes, I don't pray sometimes. I have relationship with my wives and I don't. You know, this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meaning, you know, at the end of the day, the reality is that things go up and down. Iman goes up and down. Your qareen, the shaitan that's there and is speaking to you day and night, you're always battling with this process. So the most important thing I always say to people when it comes to, and I'm not sure how long do we have left now. What sort of time are we on?
We've got time.
Yeah, we've got a bit of time. I always say that, you know, the most important thing that a person should recognize is that the most important time in your life is not Yawm al-Qiyamah. People get misguided by that. People think Yawm al-Qiyamah is the most important time. The most important time for every single one of us is the second that you die.
Subhanallah.
That's the most important time. And the brothers ask the question, and the sisters and brothers are watching, I'll ask them, are you ready to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the state you're in today? Hal anta radi? Are you happy with your relationship with Allah? Are you happy? Can you say today, any one of you sitting here, that you're happy to meet Allah?
No.
The answer should be no, we're not. So what are you going to do to change that? In this Ramadan, are you going to make a relationship between you and the Quran? Brothers, imagine, you have no relationship with the Quran, you have no relationship with Allah. Full stop. I don't care what anybody says. They can say my iman's in my heart and I love people and it's good that I love people and people are good with me. It's nonsense. No relationship with the Quran, no relationship with Allah. If I asked any single one of you, if Stephen, let's somebody really famous who everybody loves nowadays, who says was amazing, was this guy. What's his name? The one who used to run Apple, Jobs. What's his name? Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Guess what? If Steve Jobs wrote something, and you read it all and you memorized it, and you met Steve Jobs, and you said to Steve Jobs, I want to work for Apple, and he says, why should I? Because I know everything that you know. I've memorized everything, and he goes, all right, do you know this, and you wrap it off, and you know this. I know when you're born and that, and I know. He'll be amazed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So tell me, ya shabab, ya ikhwan, ya brothers, akhawat, wa ikhwan. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, you may be somebody who's bad in your prayers, and you've been muqassirin, but you're trying to make them up. Somebody's not very good in your relations with people, and you start practicing late, and you did bad things, you ask Allah for forgiveness. But at least you can stand up and say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Ya Rabbi, oh my Lord, you said words to your angel. He took those words to the Prophet ﷺ and they made it into a kitab. It's called the Quran. These are your kalam, your words. I never saw you. I never saw your messengers and I never saw any. But guess what? By Allah, I memorized those words. You're telling me that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to have mercy on an individual like that.
Subhanallah.
I memorize your words. In the morning I wake up, I try to read some of your words. In the evening I try to read some of your words. I stop when I hear your words. Yeah, I don't speak on it. Do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to say, do you think your Lord, the one who knows that you've never seen the Prophet, never met the Sahaba, never met the Anbiya sallallahu alayhi wasallam, all of us, alayhi salatu salam, is going to be angry with somebody who tried his best to make memorization or have a relationship with the Quran?
And try to implement the best they can.
No, abadan no. Ikhwan, that's the reality. People can mug you off by, brothers and, muggers off, I think, nowadays. Many of the dawah, as we see it, with people getting involved in different issues and this and that, it's all smoke screen and mirrors. The reality is, on Yom Al-Qiyamah, you're going to be standing there, and the most important time is when you pass away. Have you had a relationship with the Quran or not? Did you pick up the book today? How much pages did you read today? Did you make hifz of just one line? Only one line. You make dua at night to Allah and say, Allah, guess what? I couldn't do more than one line. Yeah, it's between your relationship between you and Allah. It's not relationship between next man and you. It's you and Allah. So that's the most important thing. So if I say to that brother, my advice would be to that brother or the sister, if you always want to be in the way of Allah, then always make a pact with Allah that you're going to be with the Quran. You're going to make your Quran your companion. You're going to read at least a page a day. At the night time, you're going to try to memorize a couple of words. You may pick up a book on translation and read a surah in English so you can understand it. You'll have a relation with the Quran every single day. Your good days, your bad days. You'll mix it up some days. Yeah. Some days you read if you can't, you memorize if you can't, you read something in English. You'll have a relationship. With that in your mind, I think that's a good place to be, inshallah. May Allah give us tawfiq.
Ameen. It's true. I guess everyone knows their own ability, the best that they can do. So if someone, we have a lot of people, and it's when I was at that time, and I didn't know how to read the Quran, I was embarrassed to tell people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell anyone, and I think it was really bad for me not to do that, because the Prophet ﷺ said 2 people never learn: one who's too shy to ask and one who's too arrogant to ask.
Yeah.
Maybe I was too shy. I wouldn't say I was arrogant. I'm pretty sure I know myself that well. I was too shy. I was too embarrassed to ask. I was thinking what people would think, because I thought it was actually everyone knows how to. That's what I used to think at the time. Everyone knows how to do it except for me. That's what I used to think.
A lot of people are shy. I don't think anyone's actually arrogant, because I know quite a few people that have, during their childhood, they've learned how to recite.
Yeah.
They've memorized.
Alif, ba, ta, sa.
Alif, ba, ta.
No. Regardless, they still have memorized, regardless whether it was right or wrong. And when they've got older, they've just completely forgotten it. It is never that they're arrogant. It's always that I'm embarrassed to go.
With most people, that's the case.
I'm embarrassed to go and ask someone how to do it. How am I going to do that? I'm like 26, 27, 28 years old. I'm a 30-year-old man.
And I'll be honest, that's a problem that we need to find a solution for. That's a problem that we need to. I've thought about it so many times. I don't want to go into detail because we started so many projects to deal with similar stuff. But I think it's a project that even you guys or some of the brothers who are watching need to start, which is Quran for older brothers and sisters. Even a hotline. That's what we were trying to do. We were doing a Quran hotline. We didn't launch it, but shall I make dua? Maybe 6 months, it may be up and running.
Make it easy.
But a hotline that any person can ring up and say, listen, I need to do Fatiha with somebody. And they'll say, okay, give me your number. You take your number, and then you find a brother who knows Fatiha. And there's enough of that brothers who know it well. You give their number, and he rings that person, and they listen to him, they correct him. One-on-one relationship.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah? And we need to, because that's a solution.
Yeah, it's true.
Why stop and don't look at the other way and say, well, the brothers shouldn't be shy. Reality, you are shy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah? That's the reality.
I think with the hotline thing, that also takes away that feeling
burden
of shyness,
of,
or that feeling of shyness, because it's like an anonymous kind of thing. You don't see the person that you're speaking to.
I think that's worthwhile doing.
Yeah,
I think it's worthwhile doing it, and I think maybe you guys can encourage people to get involved in these kind of projects.
Inshallah.
What kind of advice can you actually give to people? Obviously, right now there isn't a hotline that I know of. Anyway, what kind of advice can you give to people that are actually in that situation where?
Actually, the most important thing is, and I always say when it comes to the Quran, the person who makes a mistake in the Quran, guess what?
2 rewards.
2 rewards.
SubhanAllah.
Imagine, it's like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if this is not yaqeen that Allah exists, I don't know what is. If Allah doesn't know us, but imagine we said to somebody, Allah exists, and they say, give us some proof. The proof is this. Allah said to his messenger 1500 years ago that people who have difficulty reciting the Quran, they get 2 rewards. What does it mean? He knows the state of us. That imagine it's going to be difficult, so you're going to get 2 rewards for it, for that difficulty. One reward may be that it's getting over the hurdle of asking people. Yeah. The other reward is not to be, you know what happens with the Quran? It happens like you just said. If you memorized it, by the way, which is a blessing in itself, if you leave that blessing, then it becomes very hard, because you were given that blessing in the first place. For you to revisit it, you're in so much remorse, but you just don't know it.
Yeah,
How come I
subhanallah.
don't know Ayatul Kursi anymore? My mum, she taught it to me and I used
Yeah.
to know it. And
I used to read it every night.
so
yeah.
guess what? Guess who's sitting on your left shoulder chatting to you all the time? It's shaitan. Shaitan is saying to you, and this is why I encourage brothers and sisters to fight shaitan with. Shaitan encourages you, don't do it. Don't go to the imam. He's going to embarrass you. Don't ask your next brother. He's going to think, what?
Yeah.
Got a beard longer than mine. You don't know the thingy.
Yeah.
So to beat shaitan, make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, but to beat shaitan, go past it. Ask people, go into, you know, one of the best tools I found, be very honest with you, the best tool I found was YouTube.
100%.
YouTube, I found a series by brother Sharif on there, which is an unbelievable series, quite a few on how to recite Fatiha. It's in about 10 programs.
SubhanAllah. Just on
20
Fatiha.
minutes, yeah, it's unbelievably nice. He goes to the Makharij al-Khuruf and everything.
Yeah.
But you watch that program for 20 minutes, he goes to the difference between ha and ha, Ain from the back of the throat. I was looking for something to pass on to people. When I saw it, I thought, wow.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the YouTube is full of it.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
can learn Fatiha by just sitting on YouTube. Sit in your yard.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
people teaching you Fatiha. There's people teaching you, by the way, all of Juz Amma, surah by surah.
Word by word, literally.
Word by word.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
brothers who are doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
SubhanAllah.
there's
You
so
can just
many
watch-
tajweed classes and stuff.
You
It's
can
basically,
watch
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
just watch it. And like our children do, I mean, our children, what they do is they listen to Quran and then they start mimicking it.
Yeah.
And because you know how the Prophet ﷺ taught,
SubhanAllah.
Jibreel alayhi salam taught the Prophet ﷺ how? Not by kitab, mouth to mouth. He recited, the Prophet ﷺ heard him recited it. True? So how do we learn? The way that we really learn as human beings is what? Is mouth to ear. That's how we learn. Our mothers, okay, they don't give us kitabs, okay, but yet when they say to sit at the age of 2, we know to sit. True?
Yeah.
Because then it's mouth, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you learn, so the best way to learn is what? Listen to somebody and just hear it.
Yeah.
And even when you learn Quran and when you try to study Quran and you do tajweed at a good level, the teacher will say to you, well, he's listening to, you're reciting to him and he's looking that way. He's just listening to you, isn't he? And he picks it up. And what does he say to you? He says to you, okay, this doesn't sound right. So it's all to do with the sound. So what you need to do is, YouTube's an amazing tool for it. So fight shaitan. That's the first thing I'd say.
Yeah.
Teach shaitan a lesson. And know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you double the reward for it. And it's a blessing, akhi. Wallah, it's a blessing. We underestimate the blessing.
It's true.
We really underestimate. So I'd encourage your brothers and sisters always, keep at it. Fight shaitan while you're doing it. And know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believe me, I know this sounds so far-fetched, but it's the truth. People just don't get it sometimes. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, focus samawati al-ard, above the heavens, is really happy with you. That you are trying to do something, okay, because you love Allah. Allah's happy with you in that second that you're doing it. And shaitan is so cursed at that present moment. Because shaitan said what? I will come from the left of them, from the right of them, from the behind them. He'll come from every angle to stop you reciting Quran. He will.
SubhanAllah.
He will stop it. So that's
try
my
to
advice.
break that
inshallah.
barrier.
Break that barrier, man. Break that
SubhanAllah.
barrier. And it can be done, akhi. It can be
SubhanAllah.
done.
One thing, another thing, I want to change it up a little bit is that I feel that Ramadan is going very quickly for me this year. Does
Yeah.
anyone else feel the same?
We're on like number 10 already.
We're on like number 9 today, isn't it? 10
I think it goes pretty quick every year, bro.
No, I think this
I
year
don't
is
know,
just
this
going
year-
really quick for some reason.
Every time we get to, this is what I feel when we get to day 10, I'm like, raw, it went. It's
But I don't
gone.
know where the first 10 days went.
I have no
it's
idea
true.
whatsoever.
It's
I
true.
think it's climatization and you get climatized. That's why Sha'ban is made for what purpose? It's made for you to do, you know what? Your main aim of Sha'ban is for you to get ready for Ramadan.
Get ready for
We get
Ramadan.
ready for Ramadan on the first day of Ramadan.
Yeah,
Innit?
it's true.
So like some of the scholars always say is that Sha'ban, the Prophet fasted more in Sha'ban than any other month besides Ramadan.
Yeah.
Even some narrations say that he fasted majority of the month, Sha'ban.
Yeah.
That if we started a bit early next year, even if we started fasting one fast in a day, we'd be ready for Ramadan. But we start at the first day, so that's why it takes us 10 days to get into it. It's true,
True,
innit? Reality.
subhanallah. Before we know it, we're going to be coming to the end of Ramadan, so it's
Where
like,
did it go? Where did the month go?
yeah, so where's it gone? What happened?
And
Allah,
we
Allah knows
feel
best
like
if we'll
didn't do
see.
anything.
If we'll see another Ramadan again. I actually
Yeah.
know someone that passed away, personally know someone that passed away the day before Ramadan.
Subhanallah.
Yeah, maybe a couple of hours before Maghrib.
May Allah have
So,
mercy on them.
subhanallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on that person.
May Allah have
But,
mercy on them.
you know, Allah alam if we'll make it again. But what was the other thing that we was discussing just before we started the show with regards to something we was discussing which was quite interesting. I want the brothers and sisters to know about it as well. Something to do with have we made the most of this Ramadan?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's something that I wanted to speak about.
I think the most of Ramadan, if you remind me for a second, is that the end of Ramadan is when you know. Basically, there's a mental trick that happens in Ramadan,
Yeah.
which is the days go quickly. You think it's all about food, but really, to be honest with you, are you really that hungry?
No, it's true.
No. It's amazing the blessings of Allah. I mean,
It's true.
people say the rhetoric in it is the blessings of Allah, right? You know?
No, it's true.
It's
We
got
can do
invalid-
everything normally.
But the reality is, look at you.
Yeah. I mean,
You-
look, we're having a whole talk show 20 minutes before the end of
Yeah.
fast. And
Yeah.
You can do it. And if
Talk to
people are not, if people are confused by it, really, it's all to do with blessings. So the confusion comes is that 10 days have gone by, but guess what? You still got 20 days. Yeah? So
Mm.
you should start from today. That's what I say to people.
Mm.
Don't, if you get trapped in the 10 days gone on, another 10 days will go and you go, oh my God, I've only got another 10 days left. Yeah?
Yeah, it's about being optimistic, basically.
Yeah, so I say, you know, I always encourage my children to do it, but of course they're teenagers, so it's difficult, yeah?
Mm.
So, but, and myself and my wife, but, you know, I just encourage that never, all right, so this is how I encourage. I'm going to just give you two ways of encouragement, right? This is the best way I can say it. First way is this, that, you know, you go to the mosque, you come to the mosque and people give you leaflets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody wants you to give money in Ramadan. I encourage that. The Prophet ﷺ did, and this is a bit different, by the way. The Prophet ﷺ used to give more in Ramadan than any other month in Sadaqah. So much so, they used to say he was like a rih, a fast wind, meaning that he was quick. He used to do everything. He was committed to this deen, bruv. It wasn't like us. We don't give even in Ramadan. We've got to go to fundraisers and cry for beer. The guy's got to cry. You say, brothers, who's going to go? Who's going to give? And then you get happy. You do this thing, yeah? So, anyway, you get, that's the reality.
Your emotions take over you and you're like,
yes.
Too many Ramadan
You got
appeals.
You got to question yourself.
I just agreed to give 10 grand.
You got to question yourself. Did you give for the sake of Allah or for the emotions?
Yeah.
So what I recommend to all the brothers and sisters, I know they're going to find it, some will find it difficult, but I'm sure nobody will. You know, just put £20 away every month for sadaqah. And the way to do that is this. Do you guys have online accounts?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Who with? I'm not going to go for your account and say who with. Barclays?
Barclays, yeah, yeah.
Barclays. So I
Barclays,
have Halifax and Barclays, right?
Yeah.
So Halifax, you know, you can manage all your direct debits and stuff online, isn't it?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So imagine, Ikhwan, if you come out of the mosque in the next 20 days and every leaflet you get from every charity, you go home that day, right? And you give £1 to that charity every month. You stand up, you set up a direct debit for it. For £1 for that charity. It's £1. You were not going to do it before, yeah? At the end of the month, that's 20 quid a month you're giving away. But you get it to 20 charities. So you've done something in your Ramadan.
Somehow.
So you get 20 charities, and then you leave it like that. That 20 quid, you leave it. And then what you do, I would like to show you my phone. Whenever I get an opportunity, and I go and I see a charity and somebody's asked for money, I just take a picture of their standing order, and I put it in a place in my folder, my photo folder, yeah? I put it in a place there. And what I do then is that whenever I've got a chance and I'm in front of my computer and I think, okay, I've got another 5 quid a month, I've made a bit more, I just add another standing order.
SubhanAllah.
So if you keep doing that in your life, £25, you know, every sadaqah the Prophet loved, which is tatawwud, it keeps going on. So this is one thing we can do to the end of the month. Yeah, I think that's one of the best things you can do.
SubhanAllah.
And I recommend that. That's the first thing that you can do,
Yeah.
right, in the month of Ramadan, towards the end. The second thing, this is just advice, and I'd give it to all of us, to just make the month, to the end of the month that you can do something, is there's a concept, right? People think it's a crazy concept, and they don't think it's very Islamic, but it's actually from the core elements of your relationship with Allah, okay? Which is actually speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So people think, God, this is one of those crazy dudes that's come on. Well, it isn't, because the Prophet spoke to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was a messenger. Okay, so he spoke. No. The Prophet used to try to speak to Prophet to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he was in the cave of Hira, before he got Ba'ath, before he became a prophet messenger. What I'm saying is that the relationship between you and Allah, every single night, there must be a time where the lights are closed, you're in your room, just you and Allah, that you have a conversation with Allah. So every night till the end of the month, try and have a conversation with Allah. Try to say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I try to do something today. Please Allah, help me tomorrow. I've got a problem at school. I've got a problem at college. I've got a problem with my parents. I've got a problem with this, my health. fashion problems. But, you know, you just bust it.
You're gonna wear them since the start.
Next time I want to
Since the
over
start,
there.
right now,
No, because
at the
you-
end of the
listen,
show.
listen,
as
let's
well.
be real,
No,
innit?
because you gotta be
Because
real.
look
Look
at
at us, bro.
Everyone
Look at
got
us.
the jeans
Mashallah.
out, the dem in blue. You come a
Alhamdulillah.
bit different.
I'm
I
different.
know you're
You're a
different.
bit different.
Right. So anyway, what I recommend
Ya
is that
Allah.
Ya Allah, make no, on a serious one, try to make a relation where you speak to Allah. People have a problem. They say, "Oh, I can't do tahajjud." Or brothers and sisters, you know, they may say, "What is tahajjud? What is this? What is that?" I'm saying the only way you get to those things is by making a relationship, even if it means in the middle of the night, just after you go to sleep, after you start your fast, sit up in your bed and just think about Allah. Say, "Oh Allah, I'm going to fast this day for you. I know that you made it wajib, but remember, I'm a weak individual. I've got issues. Make my day easy and Allah bless me." Have that conversation. Don't make this conversation a Christian thing. The Christians and all these other faiths, they make out that they've got a relationship with their lords. Their lords. We got a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only Lord. Speak to Allah. Have a relationship with Him. Don't have a relationship with mankind if you don't have a relationship with Allah. Speak to Allah. So every day, to the end of the month, have a conversation with Allah. Tell Allah about your problems and try to do some of this sadaqah stuff. Try to find a leaflet a day, put it away and make that your way. And I think if you just do those two things, that's a start. Of course, you should read Quran and you should do all the normal stuff.
Yeah.
But these are just some sort of kickstarters. I think they may help you, inshallah.
Inshallah. Barakallah feek. Brother
Fiikum
Jamil. I
barakallah.
think that was very beneficial. I've personally benefited quite a lot from that, and I hope the brothers and sisters
100%.
watching
Yeah.
benefited from that as
100%.
well.
Just as a side note, like Brother Jamil here, he's always giving us advice, and we come to him. He's our older brother, so it's just we thought it would be good to just show the people where we get, you know, a lot of things that we say.
Advice from
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
man.
He's not as nice when he's talking to us.
Rarely smiles. He rarely smiles.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's not. That was well out.
No. Jokes aside.
It's
Advice
also- it's all-
from him.
it's all-
Always nice. Always
He's-
nice.
It's all well and good us
all
trying to give advice to other people and
Exactly,
stuff like that, but reality
exactly.
is we need advice ourselves.
Yeah,
We all need
exactly.
advice.
Yeah, we all need
all
advice.
need
So, you know,
advice.
this is where we normally
Yeah.
come and normally have our discussions here. Today's on camera. But I hope the brothers and sisters benefited.
Jazakallah.
If you guys want to see more shows like this, or if you want to see us discussing different topics, or whatever you guys want, just drop it in the comments, or, you know, get through to us in any of the, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, the Muslim Face, everywhere literally. So you can message us anything that you'd like to watch, anything that you'd like to
Is
see.
this going to be a regular stuff? You guys
We're
going
gonna,
to do it?
yeah, inshallah. We're gonna try and make this a regular thing, inshallah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Make
think
that-
you should. I think
We should make it a regular thing, inshallah. So, yeah, let us know what you guys would like to see from us. Until next time, brothers and sisters, take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.